Managing your finances in 2026 and beyond shouldn't take hours and hours each and every month. In fact, you should be able to enter the data once and have recurring automations populate so that you can see a snapshot of your finances at any time. That's exactly what the spreadsheet does, and today I'm going to show you through our ultimate budget system and how it can revolutionize the way that you manage your finances. What's up guys, it's Jay from jrendigital.com. Today I'm going to walk you through our ultimate budget system and how it can revolutionize the way that you do finances. Now, I know that is a bold claim, but I've been in this game for long enough to know what works and what doesn't. And I'm going to show you why the spreadsheet is absolutely awesome when it comes to managing your finances. So without further ado, let's dive straight in. Now on the setup tab, the cool thing is that there's actually only 5 main buckets where we enter into data. Once we've done that, we have one additional one which I'll show you, which is our variable expenses. And once we've done all that, then we are able to see very easily the following 12 months, including all our recurring automations, including Netflix subscriptions, including school fees, including all the stuff that is likely to pop up over the next 12 months. So really quickly, I'll show you these. Obviously we've got income, savings, bills, debt, and subscriptions over here. And if we scroll across to the right hand side, we've got the variable expenses. So these include things like perhaps eating out. You might have budgeted something, but sometimes a family member arrives in town, you accidentally overshoot the budget. So these things don't necessarily fit into the normal way that we would structure our data. So we have to put them in the variable expenses. Next, we move over to the payments tab. Now the payments tab is really cool. We've got a bunch of filters that you can use up here, and these include all sorts of things. So it could be a credit card bill, could be an upcoming gas bill, electricity bill, all that type of stuff. And you simply enter the data, add the category that it falls under, and once you've paid it, you just tick this little box here. That will automatically populate over the next 12 months, as I mentioned before. Next up, we hit the manual log. Now, let's face it, sometimes life gets in the way and you never know what's going to pop up in terms of fees and payments and all sorts of stuff. I wish it wasn't like that, but unfortunately that's the reality of adult life. I know, it sucks, right? Anyway, all that being said, when you do have a variable expense, all you need to do is enter the data here. And once you've made payment on those variable expenses or income, you just simply tick the little box over here. And once again, that will automatically populate in the following tabs. Now, the savings tracker or sinking funds tracker is one of my favorite parts of this entire sheet. It shows you all the savings and the different categories that you're saving for. So for example, if you're unaware about what a sinking fund is, it's quite simply where you're saving for a specific thing. So along the top here, just as an example, we've got holidays, emergency funds, new laptops, home repairs. These could be absolutely anything that you might be saving for. And of course, if they are for a specific item, there's typically a fixed cost associated with them. So for example, a new laptop, let's face it, could be anywhere from $1,000 right up to 3,000 or maybe more, depending on what country you're in and how fancy you want that laptop to be. So you're able to put it there. And of course, if you have broader savings goals, we can add them in here as well. What I really love about this sheet is if you scroll down a little bit, you've actually got access to a really cool calculator. In fact, there's actually 2 of them. One which will show the amount of saving it's going to take in order to hit your goals and the time in which it's going to take to get to that. And the second calculator is the date in which you are likely to hit your goals. Now, if you are worried, there is actually 40 categories that you can save towards, which is pretty cool. Hopefully you don't run out of room with 40 savings categories. Moving on, let's hit the calendar. Now, I know I said savings was one of my favorite tabs, and I really mean it this time. The bill calendar is hands down my favorite tab on this entire spreadsheet. It shows a daily balance of what funds you have, when the bills are due, or income for that matter, and also whether they are income, bills, or debt. Now, the reason why you're not seeing these shaded in is because I've chosen a date in the past, and all these have been marked as paid. One other thing I really love about this sheet is if you want to show the variable expenses that will invariably come up in life, all you need to do is click up here, hit yes, and that will show you the variable expenses that have been added to this month. So maybe you've had a few things like eating out, groceries and whatnot that have popped up. And of course, the given dates that they do pop up, you'll be able to see those there as well. Pretty cool, huh? Last but not least, we do have a snapshot of each and every week, so you can get a full sense of exactly what you've spent, what the incoming is, and how much you've got left over, which is really cool to be able to see that in real time. So the paycheck dashboard is really handy for folks that get paid at different intervals. So for example, you might have a weekly income or a bi-weekly or a fortnightly or a monthly. It really doesn't matter. Whatever pay cycle your pay falls into, you're going to be able to keep track of exactly what funds are coming in, exactly where they're going, and how much savings you have to allocate at different times. This also keeps track of all your debt, and of course if you do need to split things, there's also an option there which automatically splits things like rent or any of the other bills for that matter as well. As mentioned before, once you enter the data in the setup tabs and the payments tabs, this is going to automatically populate across all the other months. So in this example, I'm just showing you October just to give an idea of what it might look like when it comes to October. You've got a breakdown of your monthly summary, your income, your savings, your daily spending chart, your budget, different charts to keep track of various things, as well as your bills, debt, subscriptions, variable expenses as well. So this gives you a great overview of exactly what your finances did in that month. Now, of course, if you don't want to have all these tabs and you think you're not going to need all of them, that's completely cool. You can hide as many of them as you see fit in order to manage your finances the best you can. Some folks love to zoom out a little bit and be able to see exactly what's happened over the course of a year. And so our annual dashboard allows you to do just that. You can get a sense of the total income that came in, the total savings that you had, any expenses for that annual period. And you can also get a sense of what happened each and every month along the way as well. Following on from the annual dashboard, we also have a quarterly dashboard. Now, this is for the finance nerds like myself that like to look at weekly and monthly and quarterly and annual, just to get a sense of exactly where things are at any given time. And once again, if you do not need any of these things, that's completely cool. You can actually hide any of these tabs and just stick to what is easier for you to manage your finances. Next up, we've got our wants versus needs dashboard. This is a really cool way for you to keep track of exactly where your funds are going, not to mention how many percentage points are being allocated to different things. So the typical thing is 50% to your needs, 30% to your wants, and 20% to your savings and debt. But of course, you can change these as you see fit. You might go for 30, 40, whatever the math is on that. It really is up to you what you see fit, but it gives you a great snapshot as to where the bulk of your income is going at any given time. If you're anything like myself and your credit card gets a bit of a bashing over the silly season, then the debt avalanche and snowball might be right for you. This is a great way for you to see exactly when you're going to be able to pay off any of your debts, as well as how you can minimize any future debts by paying a little bit of extra. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. Either choose the debt avalanche method or the debt snowball method, and they operate in a slightly different manner. Basically, one rolls the interest rates, one rolls the bigger amounts into the next, so on and so forth. Any extra amounts that you make, you can add them here, and that will reduce the overall amount that you need to pay in future as well. Now, of course, you might have a different structure to the way that you want to pay down your debts. And so one very popular way is by credit score. And you can get an idea of how to pay your debts in such a way that actually reduces down your credit score and maximizes your ability to purchase homes and whatnot, or obtain mortgages should you need to in future. Our net worth tracker is really fun if you want to see a visual representation of how long it's going to take for you to hit your net worth goals. So for example, I just put $1 million in here and you can see exactly how long it's going to take, where I'm currently at, and what it might mean if I add extra payments, all that type of stuff as well. Now, as a special bonus for this sheet, we've also got a really cool little thing here. This is allowing you to see exactly what categories all your bills and subscriptions fall under. This gives you a sense in a visual way where your money is going and exactly what you can trim down in order to save some more funds. So guys, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me in this overview of the Ultimate Budget System. Hopefully by now you can get a sense of how powerful this is for managing your finances. If you do want to pick up a copy of this, I will leave a link in the description below. Otherwise, hit the like button. Stay tuned for more awesome content exactly like this. Thanks once again. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.